Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Last time we've pursued the bounty hunter that was trying to assassinate Padme Amidala, and she was in turn killed by a poison dart sent by the bounty hunter Jango Fett. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is now in pursuit of him instead. This level isn't called Jango Fett Pursuit, however. This is Chapter 2, Discovery on Kamino. As separatist activity continues to destabilize the galaxy, Obi-Wan Kenobi investigates the attempted assassination of Senator Padme Amidala. With his astromech droid R4-P17, the Jedi Knight tracks the source of a poisoned dart to the remote world of Kamino. Yep, with Obi-Wan and new astromech R4. And yeah, because I played this game long before watching the films, I'm weird like that, I know. I actually did for a longest time think that was something on his hand. Not a dart. Because what the hell was reading? Why would I want to read in a video game? I have to read that now. It's the only way to make the loading screens go by fast enough. Sort of. So, welcome to Discovery on Kamino. This is where Attack of the Clones would actually begin if we were playing LEGO Star Wars 1. Because Bounty Hunter Pursuit wasn't a thing. And this is the level where we're... Well, you know, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. This is where Obi-Wan finds out about the clone army that somehow nobody else knew about and doesn't... Well, it raises so many questions, really. Questions that aren't ever given answers to. But again, funnily enough, aren't issues. But if The Force Awakens gives us a few questions that aren't answered in The Last Jedi, then there are apparently massive issues and the worst films ever made. I'm going to keep doing it because The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens are not the worst films ever made. That doesn't even make sense. It's like, you are aware there are other films out there that aren't Star Wars, right? Because right now, that you're really not giving me those vibes. You seem to think that everything in existence is Star Wars. You know, that film, you know, like The Last Jedi was directed by somebody who has had such a magnificent track record. You know, I've never watched Breaking Bad, but I know one episode of Breaking Bad is named one of the greatest episodes in television history. And that episode is directed by Rian Johnson. Now, how many truly, utterly terrible directors can say have that sort of track record? Yeah, he's clearly a terrible director, isn't he? If he can do that, he directed the critically successful and commercially successful Looper. Oh, there was another film. I've forgotten the title of the film now, but there was another film that he did that was also well received. But yeah, there was he doesn't have a very big track record. He hasn't directed that many films. You know, that doesn't matter. The director of Thor Ragnarok hasn't directed that many films. But those he has done have all been... well, they've apparently been very good. And they've only gotten better and better with each one, apparently. You know, just because you're an indie developer, it doesn't mean that you're an indie developer. Well, it works for them as well. An indie director, it doesn't instantly mean that you're terrible, does it? Just because you're not one of the big names. Everyone starts from humble beginnings. You know, just because maybe if David Cameron, I keep doing that. That's the Prime Minister. That's the former Prime Minister of the UK. If James Cameron or Steven Spielberg directed a film that wasn't absolutely flawless, nobody would care. They'd just say it was a decent film. So why does The Last Jedi having some flaws instantly make it the worst film ever made? When it has great acting, stunning visuals, interesting plot twists, magnificent music by John Williams. Where does this make sense? You know, again, if you're going to criticize The Last Jedi for being an utterly stupid film, don't be stupid. You know, you're just coming off as a hypocrite. Why would anyone want to listen to you? Because I certainly don't, if these are going to be how you'll criticize the film. You ever directed a film before? No? Well then, you're in no position to judge. It baffles me. What really baffles me, well, so many things really baffle me about the Star Wars community. It's the fact that they seem to think that Disney makes the films. Marvel fans are able to work out that Marvel make the films, not Disney. They're just owned by Disney. So why can't the Star Wars community work out that just because Disney owns Lucasfilm, that doesn't mean that Disney makes the films? It's no different between the two. So if one community can work it out, why can't the other one? It really does baffle me. I mean, it baffles me how people can get this worked up about a film. And anybody who does try and claim it's a film, they just get told the usual, just to F off and go away. And that's the friendly ones that are saying that. But they're absolutely right. Star Wars is a film. It is nothing more than that. It is a film. It's not a religion. It's like, just how can people get this worked up about a silly sci-fi film about flashy space battles and people fight, magical people even, fighting with laser swords? And again, this is where the hatred towards The Last Jedi just doesn't make any sense. People will happily say that they love the battle sequence on Mustafar, but they'll criticize Leia for being able to pull herself back to a ship. And yet, why is one ridiculous and not the other? Because I'd say that's nothing compared to the Battle of Mustafar. That is ridiculous. But no, that's apparently perfectly fine. It makes me so angry, and that's without bringing up, of course, the ones that hate having women or people of other ethnicities. I can't say the word ethnicities in the film. You know, the film that's set in space with all sorts of different species of alien. A franchise that has had women and black people since the beginning. Oh look. No rain. Rain. No rain. Rain. How does that work? Why isn't the window wet? But anyway, in terms of what's actually happening, it's Jango Fett. We don't really get to see much of him without his helmet on. We see him with his helmet off there, and we see it one more time later on. Okay, that's the last we'll see of this guy. I think this guy's, I'm guessing this one's supposed to be Lama Su from the President, but we never get his name here. But yeah, I think it's safe to assume it's Lama Su. We don't get to control any of the Kaminoans though. No, that's really a bad thing because it's not like they would do anything in this game. Yeah, see, that was a lot easier compared to Bounty Hunter Pursuit. Nope, still going. I guess the circle should be my clue. Clone Jango. It's a sign, literally, just to say that they are clones of Jango Fett. I guess it's their way of expressing it without the voices. This is a door I never saw the point of. If you open it, a rocket comes out. And that's it. That is the only purpose of that room. I mean, there's a blue stud in there. But that's it. There's nothing else in this room. What is the point of that room? What is that room even supposed to be? Now needs a stormtrooper thing. You, open the door. Oddly, Jango Fett and Boba Fett don't work for the stormtrooper things, even though they technically are the templates. Well, Jango Fett is. Boba Fett's just another clone. I want to know how nobody was aware of everything that was happening here for 10 years. And I still want to know who Cypher Diaz is. Because we never get any explanation on who Cypher Diaz is. Because I'm guessing that he or she was also corrupted by the dark side. I mean, otherwise, why else would they have initiated this? And why would they do it in secret? Because obviously the Emperor is aware of this. And why would the Kaminoans create these clones and add the chips that will turn them against the Jedi? Are the Kaminoans in on all of this? I think that thing is too high for me to pick up, but you're around it anyway. All things we'll never get answers to, but they are not issues at all. Right, yeah, you have got to watch out for these. The hitboxes are deceptively big. You can't outrun them either, so don't bother with that. Yeah, you can't catch up to him no matter what you try. Overall, this level isn't really all that. You know, I definitely say it's a good level. Right, that makes it slightly long enough for R4 to jetpack across. Then she can make the rest of the bridge appear. Discovery on Kamino, I'd say, is a pretty good level. This actually used to be one of my least favourites, but I actually don't mind this level now. It's not too long, it's not too short. I'd say its length is just right, really. And it does end in a boss fight. The boss fight, actually, I'd say, is the weakest part of the level. Right, I pretty much wasting time. Wasted this power, but I may as well just use it on the force objects while it lasts. Right, now where's R4? So since nothing will ever attack an astromech droid, no matter the character, or even the Emperor dares attack an astromech droid. I'm going to close these things down first, and that will stop the robots from appearing. I like how because I'd switched characters, those deflected shots still counted. Hey, there's these chairs they sat in the films, though we never saw them sit in it. I don't know. How does wiping out Kamino from the archive memory instantly make it a completely forgotten planet? Someone must know about this. Like, and how did Dexter know about it? Dexter doesn't appear in this game, but oh, that one didn't get a reticule. Dexter doesn't appear in this game, but his diner is the hub world in Lego Star Wars 1. But it doesn't appear in this game. Before I played this game, I was actually kind of hoping that we would get a way of accessing both hub worlds. Like the Lego Star Wars 1 levels would be in Dexter's diner. The Lego Star Wars 2 levels would be in Mos Eisley Cantina, but no. It's just a smaller version of Mos Eisley Cantina. It's definitely the worst of the hub worlds. I don't know what the Force Awakens hub world looks like. Okay, so this is an annoying fight. At first, it's fine. All you gotta do is just attack Jango Fett. Now it gets annoying. Because Boba Fett is constantly shooting at you from inside the Slave 1. I think was its name. And you can use R4 to activate those missile things. All it does is move the ship. The moment Boba Fett moves away and stops, he then just proceeds to fire at you again. So I really don't know what the point of it is. And even then, the panels reactivate after a bit of time anyway. So I really don't know what the point of it is. You can try and deflect the shots back if you want. They won't hit Jango if you deflect those shots. So you'll always have to aim deflect Jango's lasers. And now this part's just kind of annoying. Usually it's kind of annoying because he's constantly running away from you. And Boba just randomly decides to stop firing. He just stops firing for that last hit for some reason. And then Jango doesn't do anything. He just runs away. And that's it. That's Discovery on Kamino. So now we proceed to follow him through the... we don't see any asteroid belt or those really weird explosive things that make a horribly delayed sound effect. that I never actually liked the sound of either. And we've now headed to Geonosis. You can now play as Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Jedi Master. And a reskin of R2-D2. So that True Jedi was a lot easier. $15. $16. We're 1/10 of the way there. Yes. Alright. But anyway. Next up. Oh boy. It's Anakin and Padme time. And easily much better than anything we had to deal with the two of them in the film. And it's all because they don't talk. We're making our way to Geonosis next time, folks. To rescue Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I will see you guys then.